Hello, my name is Sarah Spar Stubbs, and I'm one of the chaplains at Matthews Glen, and I'm grateful to spend a moment with you today. I was recently talking with a friend whose father died after several years with cancer, and she was telling me how she did all this work ahead of time, read books about grief, and talked with a counselor long before her dad died. And so we were kind of exploring that together, and we kind of laughed together and just admitted it's really hard to be ready. You can know that your loved one's death is coming, but it is so hard to be ready because grief is hard and it is what it is, and the journey can be tough. I want to share with you a verse from the book of Genesis, a book of the Bible I've read several times. But this week I was reminded of a verse that I think I have maybe overlooked the last time I read it. It has to do with Abraham, one of the big names of our faith tradition, the one who was promised by God to be the father of many nations. Abraham, who was married to Sarah, who they shared a child in later life. So much happened to them. And this is the point of the story where Abraham has now experienced the death of Sarah. And I'm going to read to you from Genesis 23, verses 1 and 2. Sarah lived 127 years. This was the length of Sarah's life. And Sarah died at Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Abraham had experienced so much of his life with Sarah, and now he needed time to weep and mourn and grieve for his wife. When we have a significant loss, we all need to take time to mourn. We have that private time where we think of those special memories, public time with family and friends, where we share stories and join together in our grief. Perhaps even the ritual of a service, of saying goodbye collectively. I wonder, in your times of mourning, what has been important for you? I have found pictures and other mementos to be a real comfort. We have a resident here who makes memory bears, and they have made memory bears from pieces of clothing for each of my parents, and I treasure those each time I look at that. But most of the important for me is the way I carry those memories and that love for my parents right here in my heart. We all grieve in different ways. We all mourn in different ways. There's a quote that I shared with a group recently, and it goes like this. I don't even know who said it. Grief never ends, but it changes. It is a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Abraham had some tough, acute grief in those early days as he mourned for Sarah. We have experienced that too. That acute grief can be tough, but it is a part of our human experience. With time, the grief softens, but it is always there. Let us remember the divine presence of God in all of the chapters of our lives. In the good times and in the tough times, we are not alone. So today, my prayer for you is that you might find peace if you are in a season of mourning, that God's love would surround you as you grieve. Or may God use you as a sign of peace to someone who is mourning a deep loss in their life. Friends, we do not go through this day alone because God will see us through. You take care, and I will see you again soon.